fucking animals!
Ba 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 ba. Dum, 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 dum. Ba 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 ba. Dum, 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 dum. Welcome to the Betting Zoo, the only place to bet with fucking animals. I am the Lusty Bison. As always, the Betting Zoo is brought to you by PrizePicks. Use promo code THEZOO. That's the Zoo in all capitals. And all of your users that deposit and use your promo code will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So that's promo code THEZOO, PrizePicks. It's free money. Do it. Today I am with the bird with the data. Oh, long tongue. Do penguins have that long of a tongue?
This one does.
The probability penguin.
How you doing, Lusty? It's great to be here.
I'm good, baby. I am good. We had some ball this week.
There was some of that.
As far as the money goes, ain't bad.
That's right. You're absolutely killing it, Lusty. The show is putting some great picks out there.
I am. I'd like to begin the show with a moment of silence for all the fantasy teams we've lost.
I assume we'll edit in taps and post.
What was that?
I was saying I assume we'll edit taps in and post.
Nope. Nothing. No Sarah McLaughlin. Absolutely nothing. That was it.
Yeah, it was a wild week for fantasy. It was a really weird week for fantasy. It's really too bad that all of this COVID stuff came to a head, and we had so many studs just absolutely flop.
All the what? All the what stuff?
Say again?
All the what stuff came to a head?
All the COVID stuff. I think my mask is fussing with me.
No, I don't know. I never heard of it.
Well, so I see. I've been had.
Yeah. It was a joke because it's ruined life.
Well, I am chewing on my mask a little bit here, so I believed you couldn't hear me. But yeah, I mean, how wild that, we had duds from so many top-end players. I mean, this is one of the lowest scoring weeks I can recall in fantasy history. So many bizarre games, so many folks who scraped and struggled all season just to drop out in the first week of the playoffs because of a truly bizarre week.
Yeah, man. Is there a solution? Is there a solution moving forward to COVID? Do you have it, Penguin?
You're right to note that I'm not feeling particularly well. I woke up this morning with a bit of a sore throat. All the same symptoms my wife had last week, and she had a negative COVID test, so I'm pretty confident that I dodged that bullet. But I'm going to keep on keeping on and get through the show so that we can get the gambling to the people, get those picks in, make them a little money.
I was actually asking if you had a solution to the NFL's COVID problem, but that's fine. That's fine.
Well, let me say this. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but this thing sucks. I mean, it sucks for everybody, and I think that the NFL is handling it as well as can be expected. I mean, they're evolving their response based on what's appropriate, and I think I don't think there's any way they could have done this where everyone would have been happy, and I don't know that there's a better way that I've heard pitched.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. When you run a sport built upon bringing people down with your brain, I don't think they're going to be the most thoughtful and understanding to the COVID epidemic. I mean, I would assume that roller derby doesn't have many protocols in place right now either. But I'm going next week, so
we'll have to check with the league office.
What was that?
We'll have to check with the roller derby league office.
All right. Well, that brings to the first installment of By the Numbers with Lusty. I got some stat lines to read for you guys, and then we'll get some responses, some friendly banter.
I love it. I love you getting into the numbers, buddy.
Yeah. So the first number I'm going to give you is 100%. This is the percentage of the time that the betting zoo has gone live after double headers on a Tuesday.
Woo!
5-0. That's the Lusty Bison's fucking record for the last 2 weeks. 0.
Oh, man.
The amount of money it takes to check out our picks. 10 out of 10. How your genitals will look to your significant other after watching the betting zoo. And the last thing I want to offer is that no podcast is going to be able to claim when a player gets COVID. Just saying, maybe it's more than a coincidence that we did last week with this past Eagles game. You put the pieces together, but that's by the numbers with Lusty. Go Birds! And we keep hitting them bets.
Well done. No, it was a hell of a pick. Frankly, I think it would have gone through even if 80% of the Washington roster wasn't sick with COVID. But, man, your streak is alive and well.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Gilbert didn't look that much worse than Heineke, right? It's just some bozo that can throw slots and screen passes and shit.
Well, and frankly, you know, when the football team was in the game, it was the Eagles beating themselves. I think Dallas Goedert was trying to make sure that Kirk Cousins didn't have the most ridiculous pick of the week with that heel flip.
Damn, that Kirk Cousins, that was awesome. He's only thrown like 6 picks this year, too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, perchance, who the top point getter is in your fantasy league?
That's a great question. Overall point getter?
Yeah. I know in mine it's Justin Herbert, which is kind of crazy.
I believe, yeah, Justin Herbert and Tom Brady were going to be my guesses. You know, obviously after the dud Brady put up,
yeah,
you know, that sets you back. But I do know that the Bucs are still leading the league in average points for, even following that, let's call it a performance. But yeah, Justin Herbert's been absolutely lighting it up.
He has, man. He's on the NFL all-hair team, too. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, while I mention that, let me seed a little for next week. Next week, same day, maybe different time, we are going to be bringing you the first edition of the Betting Zoo NFL Award Show. We'll be tossing out our feelings, our own awards. Maybe some friends will stop by. I hear the zookeepers coming through. But we will absolutely be handing out the gold. So tune in next week. But for today, I'm going to throw it to the Probability Penguin for some actual stats and data. Take it away, Peng.
Hey, thanks, Lusty. This is the NFL by the numbers. Let's start with 15. That's how many years it's been since Tom Brady was last shut out. Bison, can you guess how many active QBs besides Brady were in the league 15 years ago?
Active?
Active.
Is there one?
There are two besides Tom Brady.
Ooh. That are still playing. Shoot, I don't know.
It's Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Now, I expect Brady and the Bucs to bounce back in a big way. And normally I'd advocate a wait-and-see approach to give us a chance to evaluate the Bucs offense absent Godwin, Evans, and Fournette. But I just can't pass up this matchup with the Panthers. We talked last week about the Panthers' losing streak with Cam Newton as their starting quarterback, a streak that currently stands at 12. I mean, this is a team eagerly awaiting the return of Sam Darnold. Give me the Bucs in this one. -1 and -1.3. Those are the per-game average turnover margins for the Jets and Jaguars, and they're the worst in the league. We all know that both of these teams are dumpster fires, and in a game that's likely to be decided by inherently unpredictable picks and fumbles, I'm staying away from this one. How about 0? That's Matt Stafford's career win total in 6 games against the Vikings. Granted, the Rams are not the Lions, but old habits die hard. I'll take the Vikings with the points. How about our friends at PrizePicks? Use promo code THEZOO for a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. 35.3. That's the points per game average score for the Chargers through their last 3 games. That's second only to the Packers over that stretch. I don't see a world where they fail to cover against Houston. Moving right along to 416. That's the impressive passing yard total Joe Burrow put up in his last game against Baltimore this season, which ended in a 41-17 road blowout for the Bengals. And that was before the Ravens lost Marlon Humphrey for the season. This game is in Cincinnati. I like the Bengals to take care of business. 20. That's the number of players the Washington football team had on the COVID reserve list as of this past weekend. Now, they'll get some of those players back, but certainly not all. They also have 7 players on IR, and frankly, as Lusty and I discussed already, they're not a particularly impressive squad at full strength. I'm slamming the still undefeated in-division Cowboys in this one. And finally, 4. That's the recommended limit of cough medicine doses in a 24-hour period, but I'll be damned if I let me slow that God damn it.
Attaboy. Ooh, is that the sleep?
It's the sleepy. And that Radio Land is the NFL by the numbers for Week 16.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Definitely the most prepared man in the bed zoo, for sure.
Well, it fell off the rails pretty good at the end there.
Can we live stream you sleeping?
I insist, frankly.
How long do you think you could hula hoop while drinking NyQuil?
Well, I can't hula hoop not drinking NyQuil, so I have to imagine my abilities aren't enhanced.
So you have it while you hula hoop?
Hey, fair enough.
So what's your lock?
So I spoke about it in the stats segment, but I'm locking in the Chargers. I think I looked earlier. The spread was 9.5. It may have moved by now, but I mean, how do the Chargers not just absolutely bury Houston? Give me the Chargers covering.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. Makes sense to me. I don't really have much of a fuss to put up from it. It is
Lusty.
With the league being ravaged by COVID, it's so hard to lock something down a week early.
I agree with you.
So I'm just kind of using that as my early out because I have them 5-0. I think it's pretty clear at this point I am the best gambler on the internet. I mentioned last week that there were some ridiculous lines. I had the Chiefs -3 against the Chargers. I had the Broncos as a complete mismatch against the Bengals. And I did say the Birds -5. I'm only going to give you one this week, and it's because, I don't know who's playing in every game. I don't know how the winds of change are going to treat football this week, but I do know when you receive points and you were playing the Jets, it ain't a bad bet. I'm going to take Jacksonville +2.5 against the Jets, simply because the Jets would never be favored in anything ever. That's generally a good way to live life. That's all I'm going to feed you right now. We do have a show going live tomorrow night. If you want to check us out, we'll spit some more picks. But I'm just going to start with that. Just Jacksonville +2.5, simply because we don't know who's playing every game.
I hear you. I mentioned that the turnovers.
Yeah, you were saying there's a crazy
earlier,
turnover differential between the teams.
But I'll say this: the turnovers don't scare me as much as I am encouraged by a Lusty Bison lock. One other stat I forgot to mention, and it's worth keeping an eye on. So 8 quarters this season, the Titans have been without Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown. Through those 8 quarters, they have scored what equates to a per-game average of 6.5 points. Now, there's a chance that all 3 of those guys miss this weekend. Keep an eye on that. San Francisco gets real attractive. If those guys miss, I think they can beat 6.5.
Yeah, certainly. Are you a Jimmy G guy or no?
I mean, he's easy on the eyes, that's for sure.
Woo-hoo, you ain't never lied. He's the same color as the helmet, man. I don't know. I feel like they have to make the transition to Trey Lance eventually. The defense is kind of
hear
nice,
you.
but I agree.
Yeah, Jimmy G's not the future, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I got from the old pastures over here with the Lusty Bison. Jacksonville plus 2.5. Let me make sure I covered everything. Greatest gambler alive. Betting Zoo makes your dick bigger. Yeah, I think that's all.
That's it. Hey, make sure to tune in next week for those awards. It's going to be a great show. That's all I got.
Award show, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.